Hello, you all. Volney Faustini here, and Dr. Monica Mastrantonio at my side. She is our guest for today. And the thing we're discussing, and we will be making our dialogue, our conversation, is about the future. Tell us, Dr. Monica, a little bit about your past so we can go forward to discuss the future.
Indeed, indeed. Thank you so much, Volney. Thank you all for being here. And it's great to discuss the future and to have this conversation. We are all futurists, as we are called. But at the same time, I think each one of us brings a unique perspective on the future. And it's important that these perspectives combined can create a large view of the future.
Like a mosaic, like a mosaic, small
Indeed.
pieces glued together. That's a good analogy, a good illustration. I liked it.
Yes, I totally trust that because we come from different backgrounds and perspectives. Me, myself, I come from psychology, which there's a lot of discussion on mental health and a lot of discussion on how, the beginning of discussion, I would say, on how climate crisis is also affecting our mental health. And as, um, uh, as let's say, scientists of the future, we will need to take a look at those aspects, especially how the individual is being affected about all the future narratives and how everyone and each one of us can create and develop hope towards the future. We know that Dante Alighieri, our major literature master, wrote the Divine Comedy, and in the chapter about hell, there is a big sign at the door of hell, and which says, "Leave all hope behind." So we, in a kind of allegory, we could say that whenever we have no hope, we are entering hell. So our society, especially with the Anthropocene and all the crises that we are having to face, we are at the same time that we have the challenges and that we have all these things to work on. Homework we didn't do many times, lots of homework that we missed, many lessons that we didn't learn a thing. This is all piling up. And but even so, we need to go ahead and to develop both individually and socially ways to foster hope and to foster possibilities of new futures and new let's say, new ways of being that maybe we haven't thought before. So that's why the mosaic is so important.
New roads to travel because it's an adventure we should explore the next, the Tomorrowland, where we will be living, where we will be staying and working. And Dr. Monica, you have done a postdoctoral graduation. You've been studying a lot. You've been doing a lot of research that I know. Your profile at LinkedIn is very rich. And I must say that we met on the Millennial Institute World Futures Day. World Futures Day is a 24-hour streaming that we did in past March, and in 2025 will be another. We may meet again because it goes into each time zone and it travels all around the world. But one thing that I think it's key in looking for the future is the imaginable future. How we imagine, how we let our creative mind dream, and as you said, hope for a better future, for a better time, for with all the challenges that we are facing in the present. Tell us a little bit about your research and how you grasp the imaginable future, please, Monica.
Yes, I will. Indeed, we were in the Millennium Day together, which is an amazing opportunity, together with the Millennium Institute, which has been working on issues about the future since the year 2000. So it's a long project that goes on with many aspects, but people looking forward to the future. And I do have research on imaginable futures, which was conducted at the University of Giessen in Germany last year, 2023, and it was published as well. In this research, I prepared a survey, a questionnaire with about 40 questions, which I applied and I got responders from all over the world. So it was like an invitation to speak about the future. So I would say, like, are you interested in the future? So would you like to answer this questionnaire? And I had these questions, some open, some multiple choice questions, some to complete sentences. So there was a wide variety of interrogation on the future that combined my area of expertise, which is psychology, and social psychology. So it combined the individual and the social. And I wanted to understand how people were imagining, foreseeing the future, both in their personal lives and the future of the humanity. So imagining the future is this capacity to foresee, like in advance. Are we going to have cars in 10 years from now, or are we going to use like, this is my dream, to avoid traffic, where you would have like a seat, a mini helicopter. You'd sit down and that you would go maybe 30 miles not 30 miles, quite fast, like 10, 20 miles per hour, and you could fly over the town. That would, I think it would be even beautiful to see, people going down and so on. So how would you see the future? Are you going to keep working at the same company? Are you going to, is everything going to change, like the way we relate to each other, in school, and so on? So people could identify some points of change, like shopping is going to change the way we shop. They were saying like it's not going to be like going to the market and getting the receipts. There's going to be no money, and other things like how we are going to be paid also in the future, not only with salaries, perhaps with exchange, more exchange, and we are going to have more flexible working hours, and so on. But in that research, I wanted to point out three very important results that I got. One of them was that there is a point of rupture between the individual and the social, which is, for me, a sign of concern. Why? Because we are social beings. We developed as a species because we are social. We copy each other, we learn from each other, and so on. But the research pointed out that people were kind of closing themselves. They were afraid of relating to each other. They were dreaming about their own future, but not about the global future. Okay, they were saying like the global future, I don't care, that's going to be destroyed. But I care for my Netflix videos, and but I say, look, it's a point of, and this contradiction, because if the Wi-Fi or if something is destroyed, there's going to be no Netflix, okay, on your mobile. So I saw that people were really kind of closing themselves and isolating them from civilization, which is bringing so many stress factors, so many crises, and so on. So it was a point of concern, but it's also a sign that people are suffering. Because when we close down, it's because we are suffering. So there's a lot of suffering out there. The other important aspect that these results showed were that we are not ready for the future. Okay? No, we are not. I asked, are you, what, and together with that, I asked, what do you think the future is going to bring? So, good things, hope, or destruction? Yes, and they said it's going to bring war, it's going to bring destruction, it's going to bring more challenges. So there's a point of, and then I also asked, are you ready for that? No, was the majority of the questions. And I also asked, and that's the third. So the first one, the rupture between the individual and the social. We are not ready for the future. And the third major result was that do we need training for the future? If we are not ready, I imagine that we need some kind of mentoring or learning new
capabilities, skill-wise, to lead, to deal with what the future may bring. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And then 80%, 80 said, yes, we need training. We need to develop these skills. So almost a big majority of the responders. And then I asked, what are the skills that we need? Okay. And that was a free question. It was an open question. And they answered the three most rigid concepts were we need surviving skills. And this means everything: how to make fire, how to live with no Wi-Fi, how to, if you get burnt, what do you do, and so on. We don't have that. And we did have that in the past for many other reasons. There were like Scott, the Scots Guard teaching how to survive in the forest, how to make fire, but we lost that totally. So surviving skills is a must. The other aspect that they asked is mental health skills and capability. So it's the first generation that they lack totally these skills. And these skills have been with us because we didn't face such hard mental health crisis in the history of mankind.
Yeah.
We did have, and these skills for mental health would be, today I read a Latin sentence is cure by walking. It's a Latin, it's as old as Rome. And it's the cure by walking. You solve half of the problems by walking. And people, they go to the gym, they go to practice sports, but we lost the ability to go. I'll take a walk. I have to solve something. I will take a walk. Okay. No, we go out to take a walk with the pets because you've got to buy something, but never a walk. No, I'll take a walk to organize my thoughts. And so we lost these skills which we need to gain. And
is the Latin sentence "Solvitur ambulando"?
Exactly. And "Solvitur ambulando," and the word ambulance comes from this.
Yeah.
Servito ambulando. So that's exactly. So this is one of the skills we lost. There are many others that we lost as a civilization. Servitos ambulandos. If you say to someone, I will take a walk to clear my thoughts, they're going to look at you like, are you okay? Are you sure? Do you want me to follow you?
Yeah.
But Servito Ambulandus has been there for us. We have solved many problems because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me share. You just remind me of an interview I did with the former governor of São Paulo. His name was Abreu Sodré. He was a very uh, prepared person. He had a big farm in the fields. He was um, a political man, and he said, and I had asked him, what do you do when you have a crisis? You have to make a critical decision. He said, Volney, I go to the government aras, where you have the horses, where you can get your horse and ride a little bit of do a little bit of horse riding. And he said that when he ride the horse and the balance, the rhythm of the nature and the physical movement, would clear his mind. So
exactly.
it's ambulando over the horse. So Vitor ambulando over the horse.
Exactly.
Fantastic.
So the mental health crisis is not happening out of the blue. We need to contextualize that and
Yes.
understand the mental health crisis come when we lose the ability to cope with problems and issues
Yeah.
and challenges, and when we kind of get out of balance, as you were saying, because of the balance of the horse, we get totally um, um, not in harmony with ourselves, in a sense. And the third point of that result, which I wanted to highlight in this research, is that we need more kindness. And they used the word kindness. They didn't use empathy, although they are directly linked. But kindness in a sense of being gentle, of being, it's not only feeling the pain of the other, it's being gentle in everything we do.
Consider the other person, right? You're not alone.
You are not alone, but really this kind feeling that, when you go to the market and the cashier is there.
Yeah.
So we kind like in a battlefield, you say like, oh my God, throw away everything to the other side of the counter and says debit or credit. And that's it. So we more or less lost that minimum ability towards saying good morning, or good morning, how okay, how's your day, or uh, opening a
Just
door.
a little, just a little phrase, just 2, 3 words. Good morning, hi. It's enough to turn
Yeah,
around.
to turn around. And I think this is also because we are my suspicion here is that we are really, really overpopulated, and people are tired of being into, all the time, lots of clients. There's a queue. Usually, if you see in the supermarket, there's always a queue. There's never a time that the cashier is there looking at the weather or doing nothing. So this lack of pauses and is putting people in a level that they hate each other. It's not that anybody has done anything. They just hate everything.
Yeah, probably starts with themselves. They are not feeling well. They are not okay with themselves. So you go into the other and you try to revenge on life because my life is not good enough.
Yes, yes, and they, because kindness is, as you said, seeing yourself in the other, is together with empathy, is the other person deserve the same respect as I do. It's respecting oneself and respecting the other. It's um it's being there for each other and recognizing humanity in a sense, like oh, you are human, I'm human as well, good morning. And that changes everything. And but maybe we will need to train for that as well from very young age. And that's another article that I published, that I was saying that maybe we need to include these skills in basic education, primary education. Okay, so
Yeah. Start with the
I
kids.
suspect it started,
Children must be trained
must
and
learn.
educated. Yeah, for sure.
I think it's also a training issue because, in the past, if you were not like super gentle with somebody, your grandfather, you would take you by the ear and say, look, and then you would immediately say, oh, hi, hello, yes, and so on. And nowadays everything is, so kids have to learn to survive, have to learn to cope with mental health issues, and have to learn to be kind.
Be
And really
kind.
learn. Okay, I got this. What do I say? Oh, thank you. Do I give you a hug? Do I ask you for a favor? They have to learn the basic stuff again.
Yeah. Please excuse me. Thank you.
The three magic words. Yes, yes. The three magic words. They have to make that a priority in kindergarten, and
Yeah.
get that back on the table and say, look, the three magical words, please, please. And I remember in the past they wouldn't do anything if you didn't say something with courtesy, and if you didn't thank somebody. What do you say? You would say, oh, I want some water. You hand. What do you say? Oh, thank you. What do you say? Thank you so much. So
Yeah.
it is a training, a basic skill training that we are, especially I would say after COVID, because what COVID brought is not only the emergency of the pandemics, but of and also surviving, but it also made everything else kind of relative. So we need to So all these other things were put aside as we needed to survive COVID. And that was the okay thing to do.
Yeah.
But now we have to remember that we need all that back.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I must say that not only did I meet Monica on the Futures Day, World Futures Day, but also she is a fellow. She's part of our global network. We have created a Future of Work global network with around 40 people from all over the world, and we are aiming to have an important conference in Cape Town, South Africa in 2025. We're at least we're planning on it, and we're aiming to have it around October 2025, because this is an issue that we have to discuss. We have to dive into the future, and we have to dive into the future of work. Monica, how can a person deal with the future of work? What is your take?
Yes, this has been my an initial work that I did for my master's degree, also in terms of time and working hours, and these the many changes now that I see that will come come in the future, coming and be effective in the future. As you said, there will be many changes happening in terms of the work and how we not only how we work, why we work, where we work is already, I think, the where, when we work, and so on. So, Volney, I would say that we begin the changes with working from home, which came to stay. It's something more and more that people look forward to. And I even had a patient last week, and he was applying to some other positions in his. He's a technological professional, and he said he works in a hybrid position, and he said, "Oh, but this one does receive a better salary, but it's all in person. I don't want to be the whole week in the office." So people are not willing to be 100% of the time at the office. There's a lot of talk about AI, and if AI is going to take the place of mankind and so on. AI is going to impact and change, but not take that job and position, especially, But I think that people will need adaptative skills to adapt to the changes that are just beginning to happen. Yes, I've been connected with some of this discussion on AI and the future of work, or AI and ethics, AI and humanity. And so my position is that AI is people are sometimes, every time that there's a new technology or a new artifact, the first way that we relate to that is we fear. So we fear that. That's the human reaction, natural reaction to anything that comes around. So we fear that AI is going to substitute our jobs. We fear that AI is going to become out of control. We fear that AI is going to command our lives, and so on. The second relationship we establish with that is how we can, we start not fearing, and we start making use a little bit of AI. So we get in the individual level, and also the companies, of course, they are going to test. They are going to say, oh, we have 20 employees doing that. Let's see if we can put AI to do that. And what happens? So this is going to happen in all the fields, of course. So some publishing companies asked AI to create a book and asked readers, do you prefer the AI version or the human version? Some of the readers said, oh, the AI is pretty good. So then there's a big reaction. So the authors are going to die. There's going to be no authors in the future. This is not not very rational. I would say that I always give to my students when they come up with those extra fears. I say a little bit of fear is good. Too much fear is bad. No fear is bad as well. Okay, so no fear. Oh no fear. Come AI and do everything for me. This is really concern. Point of concern. I give the example of the stairs and the escalators and even the lifts. So look, in the past, there were just stairs. We didn't have escalators. We didn't have lifts. Is it now that we have lifts and that we have escalators? Did we disappear with the stairs? Did they took over? No. We coexist. We still have to build stairs, so we coexist. And it's the same with any technology, any at all. It's like now we have planes. Did the cars disappear? The bicycles? The horses? The horses, the carriage? No, we coexist. Okay, and what is now? We got the cars and we got the planes, and we are also having a get back to your bike cycle, your bike, your skate, and your scooter. So AI is an artifact, an extension of some of our abilities. And Michael McLuhan, wrote about all of that in the 60s and 70s with all the machine advancements, especially computer at that time. And he was saying that these are extensions of man. So we are going to build our whole history has been the ability to create extensions of mankind. And it's the same with AI. My question is here, how can we use more AI for our own good? Okay, not AI for war, because that's the same stupidity that we have carried on. Okay, but it's nothing to do with AI. AI is not good or bad. it's a mean. It can be used for excellent purpose, excellent, high Nobel purpose, and it can be used to really disrupt humanity. As anything.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
and the future of work, if you ask me, how do you see we advancing? I would say that it's going to be more, let's say, broken,
Fragmented.
fragmented, definitely fragmented. People are doing 2 or 3 jobs, a little thing here, a little thing there, and more and more fragmented. More and more with ups and downs. So we need to get resilient on that. Much more fragmented, ups and down. It's going to be more and more hybrid. So hybrid, I would say that in many factors, not only working hours, but hybrid in within a company. I already work in a company receiving through different means. I work in a company, an educational company, and we because in the past there was the salary, you would receive like every weekly or monthly or 2 weeks that day. There, for example, they pay it through 3 different kinds. It's quite confusing, but it's the same company and the same tutoring. So one kind of student, it's paid monthly. The other one is paid every 10 days, and I have to issue the invoice. So at the beginning, I was saying, oh no, I have to take care of all these different. So one is automatic, more or less automatic invoice. So I have to approve. The other one is manual invoice. It's the same company, okay? So in the same company, I have manual invoice, automatic invoice, and extra hours invoice. So I have 3 different payment systems with different dates, with different compositions. So this is going to be the future. Welcome to the future. It's all these complexities because also the companies, they organize themselves differently. They have money going out in different phases. They cannot just get the money out to all employees just once a month. Sometimes they need these splits also for their financial records and health, financial health. And there's so hybrid, fragmented. Third thing that I see, add some manual labor to your income. We, from the past 100 years, we tried to detach from manual work. Manual work, I'm saying, Volney, and we even rated it as inferior to intellectual work. Okay, so everybody wanted to go to the university. I would not, do some garden job or some kitchen job because I'm an intellectual worker. And I think, and I don't think this is a bad thing. I think this fusion between labor and intellectual is needed. And the intellectuals also benefited from getting into some labor work, and labor work also from going to some courses and some intellectual work as well. So I see that this is going to be some change, and because AI can do much of the intellectual work in certain areas, and people are finding ways to survive as being Uber drivers, as creating their own food companies, which is something that does not get out of fashion, and being many other things, from, I would say, creating with their hands and selling their crafts.
Artisans and craftsmen that can either manipulate, either use the hands, or even use the muscles. We're losing that. We're putting it behind us.
Yes, exactly. And this is also beneficial for even mental health.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Monica, what would be the 3 recommendations that you would give us as the future of work, or the professional, or even someone that is going into the age of retirement? As we look to the future, what recommendations you would leave us?
Okay. One of them is my usual sentence is plant more trees. If you haven't planted any trees, go out and plant trees.
Good. Good.
We need 7 billion trees. We are 7 billion people. Go out and put some seed in the soil please, for your children's sake. If you want to breathe, I say it's a basic need. You want to breathe? Go out and seed the soil. You don't have any place, find a park, find a garden, find a place,
A
put
little
some
spot and plant a tree.
inside your apartment. You can have a small, there are some small trees. Yes. This is rule number 1. If you are into it, plant more, plant for the others that are not planting themselves. The other advice is that I would give is keep up, especially as you said, the desire and what you want to do, and so on. I would say definitely do the things that you ought to bring some meaningful experience in life. And that's also a way, it's something we recommend for that I work, even terminal patients, when they are, we don't do psychotherapy or anything. We ask, what did you ever wish to do that you didn't do in your life? And this could be going to the opera, could be swimming naked in the lake, whatever. Okay. Or I want to buy all I have to have a full collection of Shakespeare. So let's go to the bookshop and do that and realize that. This is in the individual level, Volney, but I think humanity, as we speak about the future of humanity is at the same stage. I would not say terminal stage because but we are into a big crisis. And what are the things? So people are saying about, oh, we want to do this, we want to do that. But I would say that by looking at the future, we need also to look at our inner selves and to our past. What are the things that we didn't do that we cannot go to Mars and say, look, we didn't accomplish this there and we are here? What are the things we didn't do, we never accomplished, we failed? And this is also part of my an essay that I wrote at the magazine Compass, which is a rather futurist magazine. And what do we do on the verge of collapse? We realize dreams. So we plant trees, we realize dreams. And the dreams could be anything, but could also be peace, something that we never achieved. And my point of view is that peace, this is our failure after failure. We are we never lived without war for more than 10, 20 years. Okay, we don't know what peace is. The first thing that I say is, look, we don't know what peace is because either your grandfather was in Second World War or there was something, so we have no idea, okay, what that is. And so plant more trees, realize your dreams, and the third one is going to hit hard. Save water. Everything, that's the next research I'm going to do. And every single drop. There's no other planet with water. Come on, wake up, people, to life. No jacuzzi, no water, no. That's a
Go to
limited.
the sea. If you want to have leisure with water, do it at the sea.
Yeah, take your jacuzzi. Yeah, take your jacuzzi to the sea. Then you put the salt water and you stay there.
Yeah.
So these are my deep messages for the future and for all of us as well.
Nice. Monica, I want to thank you first for your friendship. Second, that you participate as a fellow in the Future of Work Global Network. And for your time, you've been so kind to separate. We are talking almost 1 hour. And you've been so kind to share with those that my channel is 99% in Portuguese, and I'm building now some videos in English, and you've been so kind to help me out with one more conversation with our fellows and to talk about the future of work. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Volney. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye-bye, Monica.